Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. My name is Gordy, and all week we are covering the new 7 wonders of the world, one each day. Today, we're starting with the Great Wall of China and the myth that it rode in on. Like and subscribe right now if you haven't so you can keep up every single day. I do this every single day. Usually the topics are all over the place, but I'm trying some themed weeks this week. See if the algorithm can find an audience that's more consistent. We'll see. All right. First off, the new 7 wonders of the world is a list created in 2007 through a global poll organized by the New 7 Wonders Foundation. It aimed to highlight remarkable human-made monuments that are all still standing today, unlike the original ancient wonders, which I talk about in the May 20th episode. Go check that one out. Most of those no longer exist. Take a guess or let me know how many you think exist, and go watch that video for the answer on May 20th. But yeah, the new 7 wonders list includes iconic sites from every continent, chosen for their architectural brilliance, historical impact, and global recognition. So I'm going to make a week of it, trying out themed weeks to see what happens, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this style for this month. So, all right. Let's kick things off with the Great Wall of China, the oldest of the new wonders, and we'll start with a fact that we've all probably heard, and that's that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made object visible from space. Well, guess what? That's false. So let's pick away at it a little bit. First, you cannot see it with a naked eye from the moon, which has also been claimed. The apparent width of the Great Wall, as seen from the moon, would be like the same as that of a human hair viewed from 2 miles away, or like 3 kilometers away. So you're not going to see that. And so you can even just barely spot the Great Wall of China from the low Earth orbit without help, like significant help. Like I've seen the pictures of it, and I'll put one up, and you'll kind of see that, yeah, you're really going to need to zoom in a lot to make that one work. You know, you have like a better chance of just seeing like an airport or a big city block or even, you know, a giant highway. So the myth, though, likely started as a patriotic exaggeration, got printed in a few textbooks, and it stuck because it sounded like it should be true, and it's kind of a cool fact. And why not? Like, most people haven't been to space, you know? They're really banking on the fact that no one's going to be able to verify that for themselves, because actually was first that fact was born, that factoid was born hundreds of years ago, way before space travel was a thing, and someone was like, you could see it from the moon. So good job, guy. You really did it. But the real story of the Great Wall is a bit messier. It's a bit of a messy story, and I'd say a little more impressive than just being seen from space, potentially. For starters, it's not one wall. It's a tangled web of fortifications, watchtowers, trenches, and walls built by different dynasties over more than 2,000 years. The oldest parts date back to the 7th century BCE, but what like most people picture are those giant stone walls snaking over the mountains, those lush mountains. But that was built much later, during the Ming Dynasty, between the 1300s and the 1600s. And I saw some really cool videos. There's some really cool parts of the wall that are just climbing the mountains. Like the wall almost looks perpendicular from the vertical, nearly vertical face of the mountain, and it's really cool. A lot of effort went into that. And I bet Mr. Ming himself wasn't doing much of that effort. At its peak, the Ming-era Great Wall stretched over 5,500 miles, with some sections reaching up to 30 feet high and 15 to 30 feet wide, large enough for soldiers, horses, and carts to travel along the top of it. An estimate said that around a quarter of the Ming Wall has since disappeared since its construction. According to a comprehensive 2012 survey by China's State Administration of Cultural Heritage, one of the most trusted sources, I'm sure, the full length of all the sections of the Great Wall of China, built over multiple dynasties, adds up to about 13,170 miles, or 21,196 kilometers, let's say. That includes walls, trenches, and natural barriers like rivers and hills that were used as defenses as well. At that point, during the Ming Dynasty, China had just thrown off Mongol rule and wasn't too fond of the idea of running that one back. So the Ming emperors funneled resources into wall building using bricks, stone, tamped earth, and famously a mortar made with glutinous rice and lime mixture, which is glutinous rice is essentially just like a sticky rice, and the sticky rice mortar was surprisingly effective. Modern tests show that it held up better than some modern cement, and like a lot of those rice mortared walls are still standing without issue. And there were some rumors that I heard while reading this that there were bones of like the laborers or the slaves or enemies ground into the mortar, but they haven't actually found any evidence of that. But even then, the Ming Wall wasn't a magical force field. It helped slow down raids from nomadic groups from the north, but it didn't stop full-scale invasions. Despite its scale, the wall wasn't an impenetrable shield, It slowed down the smaller raids, like for sure, but determined invaders like the Mongols and later the Manchu simply just went around it or just bribed their way in. Money talks, man, right through that wall, or walked through open gates, because it wasn't one unbroken line. And I'll show a picture of it. It's more like a series of defensive zones with huge gaps in between. What it reminds me of is it looks kind of like after you make spaghetti and you pour the pot into a colander and you see the noodles that are still stuck on the bottom of the pot after you pour the rest into the colander, That's what it reminds me of. And it was like a colander for manpower also, as it drained enormous resources. Tens of thousands of workers, many of whom died during construction. Some historians have called it the greatest cemetery in human history. I think they mean greatest, like largest, not necessarily like their favorite. Like this is the best, but I don't know. And along with its like obvious military benefits in physical defense, it also helped reinforce those geopolitical pursuits. Like it enforced borders, it helped collect taxes, regulate trade, and move troops around. And it was also a psychological flex, like a symbol of permanence, strength, and national identity. And it worked in that respect. The Great Wall may not be visible from the moon, but it is unforgettable from the ground. Like I watched a lot of Great Wall videos leading up to this one, and it just does look gorgeous. I never really thought about wanting to go there before, but it just looks really beautiful. And I hear from the videos that the best time to go is during student exam season, like the time where young people are taking their exams, because that's the only time it's not super crowded. So, all right, good. Studious, also intimidating in a nationalistic way. But so there you have it. The Great Wall of China, less a single barrier and more a sprawling statement of power stitched together by dynasties, legends, and a little bit of sticky rice. Thanks to all my sources, which you can find in the YouTube description. Let me know, have you been to the Great Wall of China, or would you want to check it out? I had not really considered it as a destination, but like it seems pretty interesting to me, and some of those areas look absolutely beautiful. So leave me a comment, follow, rate, like, subscribe, and share this with someone else. I would really appreciate it. At Smartest Year Ever, everywhere on social media, so you can go check out the 1-minute version I do of all these, and I have pretty pictures and all of that, and I'm moving around and all of that, But in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. I'll see you tomorrow in the smartest year ever. I got the next wonder coming up, so I trust you'll be there.